So the new Acura Integra Prototype has been released, and what do you know? The entire internet loves it. No. The internet being the internet, that's you, collectively ganged up on this thing and kicked it straight in the yellow exhaust tip. The 90s versions of these things. Light, agile, independent suspension, high revving NA motor. I myself love those cars. I have a 92 EG, which I use for track use only. I also have a 98 EK that I've been using as my daily for 10 years. But you can see to the side of me as well, I have a brand new 2021 Honda Pilot. I also have a 2018 Honda Fit. I have a thing for hatchbacks, what can I say? In this video, I'm gonna come at you guys as a person who loves the 90s golden era Hondas. But I'm also an art director in a modern company doing modern things. So in terms of design direction, I appreciate and understand that you can't always just copy the past. You can look on it, reflect on it, but you have to move on into the future. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate in this video as well. So just right off the get-go, this entire car looks a whole lot like the new Civic. You know, let's be honest here. It kind of looks like an Accord as well. So much of these new Hondas to me looks very German. I think the rear taillights on the new Civic look a lot like a Jetta. And these don't so much look like that, but you could see where the inspiration came from. That said, the Acura marketing team has released a really nice video actually, so we're gonna go ahead and check that out together. And Acura Media Newsroom. The 2023 Integra Premium Sport Compact Coupe, 1.5 liter VTEC, 6-speed manual available to everybody. It's starting around 30,000 bucks. So here we go into the video. Dear culture. Whoa, look at that, yeah? We got the old Integra. Whoa, look at that old guy.
Energy.
Woo!
You know, there's culture.
See what they're doing here? They're mixing the old images with the new image.
Acuras were their first car.
That front grille design, that is pretty cool.
Captured my heart and soul. I've never forgotten about that feeling.
So look at this, even up to the RSX, the DC2. They're not showing as much of the super old one right now.
To the car as you're driving in.
But people shifting manually, yeah, having fun. The girls having fun. We like that.
Acura, going back to their roots.
Showing the older DC2s off on the side, yeah.
It's coming back.
This car hasn't been around for yellow, Phoenix yellow. I mean, everyone likes that, right? Look at that, sandwiched in between the two old DC2s, you got the brand new Integra. I gotta say, personally, I really like the front end grille design of this thing. I think it looks really nice. Everyone, as soon as this thing came out, not my Integra. I felt like we were going back to the Star Wars when that was a thing, like, not my Luke. So styling on this car. Yeah, you know, again, coming at it from a 90s Honda enthusiast. I have my track car, I have my daily. I even have the newer ones. I appreciate Honda's newer design. This new car just looks too big, man. It looks too goofy, doesn't it? Again, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, so this is one side, but this is my heart speaking right here. This car's too big. It looks too, I don't know, like commuter, right? Like it looks too just bleh. The old Integras, sure. Put your mind back to when that would have come out. Don't think about it in terms of now, where it looks almost like a classic car or a timeless classic car. Think about when it came out then. A lot of cars were a lot smaller. You could have these bigger windows, bigger viewing areas because, you know, laws have changed on how a car can actually be made and designed. A lot more emphasis has been put on the pedestrian, ironically. So, you know, if someone gets hit by a car, there's like not as much glass and car crashes, safety concern, all that kind of stuff. The cars in the 90s were a lot lower, just kind of naturally, right? Like they had a lot smaller wheels. Now we're rolling on 20s and 21s, you know, for brand new cars. But back then, 13s, 14s, and 15s was common. So of course the older Integra weighed a heck of a lot less. In terms of design, it does have a really nice profile. It's not like, oh my God, here's this supercar thing, but you know, with that really nice rear wing and the front grille features that you can have on a DC2, like Integra Type R especially, it just looks really timeless. Like that's the word, right? Now think 20 years from now. Is this car gonna look timeless? I mean, who's to say? I don't have my crystal ball, you know, I left it inside, but it doesn't feel that way. Is this kind of just a marketing scheme? You know, like all the American cars have brought back all the cars, the Challenger, the Charger, the Mustang, all that. And then in the imports, the Supra came back, you know, the NSX, like these big juggernaut names, the GTR, Godzilla, they're back. So why wouldn't the Integra name come back? But is this kind of just a marketing thing? Hey, let's test the waters, let's see how this is gonna go. We know the Civic Si does well, I think, I'm pretty sure it does well. I should say we know the Civic Type R does really well. People are still paying 10,000 bucks over sticker for those things here in Florida, which is crazy town. Our people are gonna be doing this for the new Integra. Is this thing gonna come out at 10,000 bucks above showroom price? You know, I'm sure there's a market for it. I'm sure someone's gonna pay for it. But is that gonna be a thing? We'll see. So of course, the new Integra is bigger, heavier, bigger wheels, all that kind of stuff. So naturally, the engine's gonna be bigger, right? Well, no. It's actually a 1.5 liter, but that shows technology, right? And, you know, progression over time. Back then, you have a 1.8 liter revving to the stars, producing, what, 200 horsepower. Now, you've got a 1.5 liter turbocharged. And yeah, the turbos are awesome. Like, I totally appreciate the sound of a good turbo, but let's be straight here. It's not a high revving NA Honda. And again, if you come from the golden era, liking that design, that philosophy, that thinking in mind, with a high revving, lightweight, great handling car, this new car's just not it. The new car, to me, is kind of like a racing series. If you win in a racing series, like British Touring Car Championship, for example, you add success ballast. Well, this thing's been sitting at the buffet, man, and it's been eating all the carbs because it just looks big and bloated. And is that 1.5 liter turbocharged engine gonna be enough to give this thing some life, give it some feel? Yeah, we'll find out. I don't know, I haven't driven the thing. My gut reaction is it's gonna be kind of subdued. The sounds that come out of these smaller displacement turbo engines, especially when they're restricted from the factory, not my personal cup of tea. I think it can be cool. Again, we just have to see. I do love that Acura has the sight to go ahead and include a manual transmission with this thing, and especially a 6-speed. That, at least, is definitely back to the roots. I don't think you can argue that, where any car going and offering a manual option for the version, that gets the thumbs up from me. Very cool. The flappy paddle thing, I'm sure that would be fun too. I've driven Porsche Cayman S out on track, and you know, it's got the flappy paddles, and it's the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine as well. Granted, it's a Porsche, but it's kind of a Honda in reverse if you think about it. And the flappy paddles can be a lot of fun. Like, it's pretty cool to go around and and that instant shift, you know, that's really cool. It takes that factor away from something that you have to think about while you're driving. But on the other hand, it's just that. It takes away that factor that you have to think about while you're driving. Just last weekend, I was out at Palm Beach International Raceway in my car, and sometimes I would miss a shift. Or my car is leaning so much coming into corners because I don't have a fully built proper suspension yet, and I would miss a shift. I'd start grinding gears and I have to kind of double clutch the thing. Fast and Furious reference, I guess. Double clutch the thing to go ahead and put it into gear, and I'd be missing third coming down to the back straight. You will become a better driver on track if you need to be conscious of where you are in the RPM band. So, you know, I don't know, you know, the internet, man, like, of course I've seen all the things, you know, there's some funny little cartoons about the marketing team at Acura, and I almost kind of wonder if the marketing team is doing one thing. They almost have the passion behind the brand, right? Like, they know that there is this market out there who loves this car and loves Honda in general. And they will get behind it if they make the right car. But it's like the marketing team saw that, but then the design team needs to play within the bounds of making a new car. Maybe it's not that they don't want to do the old design or high revving engine or this or that. It's just that that's just not where we're at in 2022. Small displacement turbo engines are the thing. Bigger cars that are heavier on 20-inch wheels and stuff is the thing. Let's keep in mind that this is Acura, a premium, you know, nicer brand, a step up from the Honda. So you know the interior is gonna be beautiful. Of course, that's probably gonna be a really nice place to be. But it also makes the car a lot heavier. But that's the same as it was in the 90s. But again, we're talking about, 20 something years of progress here, and things get bigger and heavier as of the way we're going. In my mind, what would have made the internet happy is literally take the DC2 silhouette, right? Then add the new styling of the front grille and maybe even the headlights from the newest car that they just unveiled, the prototype. And then maybe the tail lights are, a little more reminiscent of the DC2, but it has those nice sharper edges, maybe not as rounded. And it even has some kind of slant or something to it to give it almost that sideways teardrop shape. What bums me out about this new Integra is that they don't have that kind of rear wing on it. Is that two-boy racer for this time? Maybe, but look at the Civic Type R. That thing, it's got that big old rear wing. And my personal opinion is that the Civic Type R is a little over-designed, but you could have added a rear wing to this DC2. I even said DC2. You could have added a rear wing that's not just the little gurney flap kind of thing to this new Integra, and maybe that would have inspired images of that older car for the people now. But you can't help but go through the internet and see all the comments like, oh, fail, hashtag, everyone tagging Acura, like, oh man, the marketing team just must be like, oh. Or maybe on the other hand, the marketing team's like, yeah, we knew that was gonna happen. The niche market, which is what we are, keep in mind, not everybody in the world loves the 90s Hondas. Some people are just like, it was just a car. I got groceries with it. Our niche market of loving these golden era Hondas is all over the world. It really is, and that is amazing from this company that came out of Japan, that all over the world. I'm in North America, in Florida. There's a million of these cars around, and if you're from Kissimmee, Florida, man, you know all about it. You got parts cars for your parts cars. There's 3 and 4 deep in your driveway. Everyone has got a Civic or an Integra in Poinciana. So I don't know, the new car, we just need to give it time, right? Joey from the Chronicles out in LA, everyone loves his pictures, put it really elegantly, I thought. And he was like, is this gonna be just a footnote in Acura's history, or is this gonna add to the brand legacy of Integra? We just have to see over time. I don't know the answer. You don't know the answer. Maybe it comes out and you see a few on the road and you're like, you know what? That actually looks pretty good. Or were you on the other side from the very beginning? Do you think this car just looks good from the get-go? You're like, I can't wait for this thing to come out. You got your 30 G's ready? Well, you're balling if you do, but maybe you got a couple grand to put down on this thing. So maybe we'll see some out on the road and we'll be like, you know what? That's actually pretty cool. I like it. And maybe it grows on us. Or maybe you see it and you're smoking it in your old DC2 or whatever and you're like, and you'll never buy a new one. So I just want to say, if you're new to my channel and you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much. Again, I am pretty much sold on the 90s Honda thing. I have my EG track car here, which is a ton of fun. And I'm actually still D-series in this thing, still single. Check out the stickers, we got them in the shop. We've also got the shirts for fine movement. This is my toy that I've been learning with. And I was newer to the 90s Honda game as well. So what do y'all think of this new car? I don't know, we'll give it time, right? But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.